Welcome back to Rome. My guest tonight was an all-star last season when he led the majors with 11 complete games. I'm joined right here in studio by Tampa Bay's Rays pitcher, James Shields. James, good to see you. How are you?
Good to be here.
It's good to have you here. Let me get last night out of the way. Felix Hernandez with a perfect game. Look, you know this guy's got crazy, nasty stuff, but have you ever seen him look as filthy as he was last night?
I'll tell you what, last night was unreal. I mean, he every single thing he was throwing last night was just on point. I think his curveball was as nasty as I've ever seen it. Obviously, he's got a tremendous changeup, and his fastball is 95 plus. But last night he had that curveball working pretty good. He had us off balance.
Yeah, that hook last night was unbelievable. It's kind of a weird thing. You guys have been a really good team over the last 4 or 5 years, yet that's the third time there's been a perfect game thrown against you. 5 no-hitters overall. I mean, how do you explain something like that?
We actually kind of figured it out on the bus ride to the plane last night. I think we've witnessed about 13% of the perfect games in the history of the game. So that's that's something you don't really want to see, but then again, it's history. It's history. It's baseball, and it's really, as a pitcher myself, it's kind of fun to watch a guy like that to do what he did last night. Was amazing.
What's it do to the offense? Because your bats have been coming around. When something like that happens, do you tip your hat and just keep moving, or when somebody shuts you down and throws a perfect game, does that kind of mess with your psyche a little bit, and could that stay with the team for a little while?
I think for us as a team, we're so loose, we're so relaxed. I think. I don't think it's going to bother us too much, but they definitely weren't too happy about it. The hitters kind of take it pretty hard, but I think we got a good. We're going good right now. So the positive vibe in our clubhouse is going pretty good. We've been on a nice little win streak here over the last 10 games, and going into the Anaheim series. I mean, this is a big series, so I don't think it's going to affect us too much.
You talk about how loose and how relaxed the team is. It's really a good chemistry about that group. You've seen it all. Talk about the transformation from going from the Devil Rays to the Rays. It's not the same vibe as it used to be. How is it different?
Yeah, I think me and BJ are one of the only guys on the teams that wore green. The Devil Ray days. But I think the whole thing's changed. It all started with our manager, Joe Madden. He came in with this attitude of being a really relaxed guy, really kind of just letting the players play the game and letting the players be themselves, and kind of created that atmosphere of, we can win. We do have a lot of young guys in the organization, and we got a lot of talent. I think we've proven that over the last four years or so.
Last year it all came together. You were third in the Cy Young balloting. You were an all-star. You won 16 games. Team MVP. It all came together last year. Why did it all come together last year?
I think I changed a few things in the offseason, in my offseason program. I think it was just kind of one of those years where, I was really consistent. I was really consistent with my workouts. I was really consistent with my delivery, during the games and stuff. And also, we had probably the best defense in the game as well. That kind of helped out, my cause as well. So, last year I worked really hard on my craft, and it turned out really good.
So it paid off, but it's such a humbling game. Maybe you come into this season and you're still working and you think it's fine. Then through 7 starts, you've got an ERA at 6.15. So as baseball is always so humbling, you haven't figured it all out. You've gotten right since then, but at the start of the year, what was going on and what were you thinking?
I think for me, it was just more of a mechanical thing. I was just trying to do too much, just trying to be the guy I was last year rather than just be the guy who I am right now. And, it was just kind of one of those things where someone gave me a piece of advice. Andy Pettit gave me some advice, and he said, you never stop learning the game until you're retired. And, I think that was one of the things that every year everyone's making adjustments. Hitters are making adjustments. Pitchers are making adjustments. And, it's kind of a chess game. I mean, some years you're going to have phenomenal years and some years you're not. You just got to try to stay as consistent as possible.
Now, you've always been there. You love the organization, but you come up on the trade deadline, and all of a sudden you're the name that's being bandied about. There's a lot of interest in you. I mean, you've been through this. You've been through baseball, but can't make it easy to deal with. What were you thinking at the deadline?
For me, this is my 7th season, so I'm kind of used to, the trade deadline, and my name's kind of been brought up in the offseason. Last year, trade deadline, I'm kind of used to that whole thing, and it really didn't bother me too much. Obviously, when your name's getting brought up every single day, you definitely can see it out there on the media and all that stuff, but it didn't really bother me too much. My home is in Tampa Bay. I've got drafted with them since 2000. I've been with them for 12 years now, so I had a good feeling that they were gonna keep me around.
Hey, James, talk to me about Melky Cabrera for a minute. 50-game suspension. When you see something like that, how pervasive is this? Is this a guy that was doing the wrong thing and got caught? Or is there a lot of this going on, guys who are just getting out in front of it and beating the test?
You know, to be honest with you, I have no clue. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it kind of surprises me that guys get caught, you know? I mean, or the guys want to do stuff like that.
Surprised that guys do it or surprised that guys get caught?
Well, surprised that guys do it. It's surprising me that the guys that they actually do it. I mean, we have such a good drug testing in Major League Baseball now. I mean, it's basically almost like Olympic drug testing, and it's amazing. I mean, this game is starting to become pure again. You know, I know we had the steroid era and all that stuff, but I think a lot of guys, you know, in the league, I mean, it's a shame, to be honest with you. This is a pure game, and you know, we just got to kind of move on.
Right, now, this guy was the MLB All-Star, MVP All-Star, and that means that the home field advantage goes to the NL. You guys are right in the hunt. What if you guys go on a run, get to the World Series, then you don't have the home field because the guy that was cheating was the MVP of the All-Star game and helped his team win?
You know, I mean, for me, it's just you know, just something that has happened over the last 10 years or so in Major League Baseball, and we've done our best to be able to deal with it, as far as the drug testing goes. Our players' union have done a great job of really honing that aspect of the game, you know, down to a minimum. I mean, obviously you can't control what people do, but we can control what we do as far as the drug testing goes, as far as all that kind of stuff goes. But for me, I mean, I'm just going out there, I'm pitching, I'm playing my game. I can't really let what anybody else affects, you know, what they do on the field affect me. So I'm just going to go out there and pitch my game. So.
Next up, Angels. Good to have you back home. James, good to have you on the show, too. Thanks so much.
Yeah, absolutely. My
Good
pleasure.
to see you. Enjoyed that. All right, coming up next, I'm going in with Trevor Price and Ray Ratto. We will talk about the high expectations that the Jets have for Mark Sanchez and whether or not he is the quarterback that can live up to all that hype. That's coming up next.